Hey, Reese, the hoe versus the retard. That nigga. Oh, you want the link? Okay, here go the link. Let me grab it, girl, because we gonna have some fun. That nigga want to play? Then let's play. Um, Let me grab the link quickly. Girl, I'm just waking up. To be honest, I was woke. New University, girl. Every time I see your name, I'm so happy to see you. Let me pin it. um, Let me pin it. So I did get a message. And, I just woken up and I was, cleaning myself up. You know what you do when you wake up, you brush your teeth, you use your mouthwash, wash your face. And while I was in there doing that, I got a message. And I was like, you know, okay, I'll be over. So I looked at it. I looked at like maybe a minute of it, you know, um, and I heard him call me a hoe. And he said men are a contradiction because he said he's a contradiction. No, he says that I said that um you can't teach old dogs new tricks. And what I said was that's the saying. I said, but no, the real saying is you can't teach old fools new tricks, right? And he admits he gonna be him. He not taking no advice. He not doing this. He not doing that. We I realized that, that's why yesterday I said, why is Bomb so stupid? I realized you cannot teach old fools new tricks. Okay. Uh, Everybody who's not an idiot or a fool, they understand that every day could be an experience in which they can learn something. But he doesn't. He doesn't file anything away, and he's not willing because the stupidity is getting him seen. Okay. Taylor say, I told you so, Bomb. I told you. Hey, Tequila, Black Beauty, Candyland, Choco Kitty. Hi, everybody. Girl, I knew what I was doing yesterday, but also I knew what he's been doing. Like I was up there, you know, having fun with him and shit, and then he disrespect, right? And like he disrespected me while I'm there, and then he get angry if I take a little small shot back at him, right? And then talk about he don't like it. He don't like it because you trying to get some laughs. Yeah, nigga, I'm telling the truth, and if people laughing at it, you know what I mean? I tried my best to be respectful to him, and I never spoke ill of his children. And I will not even do it here, okay? Because that's not what I do. Um, but I think today might be the end of the respect that Bomb gives, because Bomb can only take so much bullshit, you know? I can only take so much bullshit. Even yesterday, it was light work. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to tear a piece of shit who got his hand out for every fucking body. It's easy to tear him apart. In fact, I don't have to tear him apart. He tears himself apart. Okay. And on top of that, every fucking black woman who's tried to help JP, like literally, he swatted them away. Now, at first, I didn't know that. I wasn't, like some people would just leave and because I didn't know where they went or I didn't really know them that well at that time. I didn't know that he was doing shit to piss them off. You know what I'm saying? But when I did start noticing, right? Like for instance, when I found out about PhD, but I used to ask while I was over there, where my girl at? Where PhD? But I didn't really know PhD because she seemed pretty mean when I first met her, but I'm okay with that because people think I was mean, right? She was when I realized she was just straight to the point. I think that's what people consider mean. You know what I mean? Where we say things and we don't have no emotions in it. But why would I have emotions when it comes to some motherfucking people I don't really know? I'm just telling them how I see it. Cool. Anyway, but then I used to be like, where PhD, but where you co? And it would be like, she's just not here. So when I ended up bumping into her again over there by Sharon, and then I started noticing, like when JP came over, I noticed that something was going on. And then he did a stream on her, and I was like, what the f-? So anyway, uh-oh, hubby phone going off. Thank God his phone wasn't down there. Probably not looking at JP right now. I hope he not. Because he gonna, oh Lord. That's why I had to start the stream. I was like, okay, if he go over there, because he tend to like, you know, JP watching the dumbass shit. He can't believe it. No, none of us of a certain age can believe it. There was shit that people used to do and we was embarrassed. You ever used to have food stamps, right? And you would go and buy your shit, right? You got food stamps, but you wasn't telling everybody you got food stamps. In fact, when you paid, they used to make you tear these dollars out of these books, right? And then you was hoping they didn't ask you to show ID with the goddamn book. Because you was like, you didn't want your friends to see, you didn't want people to see. And then, the truth is though, a lot of people was on food stamps. And we all just nobody knew. Even the white motherfuckers. Come to find out the white motherfuckers, they had a lot of food stamps themselves. The first time I realized white people had food stamps, y'all not gonna believe this shit is. The first time I realized white people had food stamps was with that family where he had three wives. I used to watch them. He had three wives, sister wives. Did y'all know that sister wives, when they moved to Vegas, I think that's where they moved to Vegas, right? Because they was on the run. They was on the run, so they went to Vegas. And they dumbasses, right? Because the only reason they got caught is because they started a TV show. So where they was before, not everybody knew because they admitting the shit. So when they found out that they was coming to take their children, they was coming to get them fucking children. The motherfuckers ran and they went to Vegas, right? Or whatever that state is. What is Vegas in Nevada? Nevada. Okay, so then they was on there and they showed he had three wives and all them motherfuckers, except one was on food stamps. They was trying to get homes, but they was jealous because the new wife, I think the real wife got her home, right? And it was a big, nice home. And the other wives was like, well, shit, what the hell going on? We want our home. And they was trying to get approved for their homes. Them people was doing all kinds of underhanded shit. But I watched them go in the store and they was talking about how they on food stamps. And I was like, wait, what? Y'all got a TV show. Y'all got all the motherfucking wives and all the motherfucking kids on purpose. And y'all on food stamps? I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Anyway, this is what I want to say. Back in the day, things that you did, if you lived in a certain area, and even if you didn't have certain things, you was a little embarrassed, but you had to do what you had to do. Like if you a kid, ain't shit you can do about the financial situation or your homing situation or none of that. You just got to go along for the ride, right? Now, you got to go along for the ride. And we are watching some kids who just got to go along for the ride. But the bad thing about that is, the worst thing is that the ride is purposely bumpy and trash and ain't shit because they didn't, the adult is out bragging and shit. And I noticed that he was slow. I did notice that and I knew it, so I think a lot of us know it. You know what I mean? And so we want to try to help the ride don't be so bumpy for the little ones. Why? Because we all have a history when we was kids. Ain't nothing we could do about it when we kids. The adults are in full control. And you hope that your adult is adulting to the best of their fucking knowledge. But when your adult activities become content, and the worse your content is, the better it seems to be in your eyes, because you're looking at numbers, then you end up doing what he's doing, you know, and saying what he's saying, contradicting himself over and over again. But then he admits he's a contradiction. But if he was having a conversation with me and I'd be like, JP, you realize you contradict yourself, he'll say, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. So that's the point that he don't understand. I even explained to him, I said, JayPrince, people like watching you and shit. But I said, as long as you take care of them girls right, then you will be good. Like, make sure they good. I even asked him, do he think he can start trying to change how he speaks to the girls? And out flat, the nigga said, no, I ain't changing for nobody. And I'm like, but those aren't just nobody. Those aren't just nobody. You see the frame of thought. You know what I'm saying? When he think that his kids are nobodies, he's not changing for nobody. And it's crazy ridiculous, right? It's crazy ridiculous. I've already said, I know people will help. People will help. Generally in society today, people will reach into their pockets and help people. I know that to be a fact, right? Sometimes we don't understand that we're more harmful. I help with my words, right? I help with my words. I informed them when somebody sent me money so the girls can get pizza. You know, that lady's still mad about that. And I promise you, when I sent them the money for the pizza, I said, JayPrince, I said, look, you got to do right by the money. I said, get the pizza. And I said, and get them a pack of waters, because he was telling the girls they can't drink waters, his waters. Now, listen, everything he does in front of the screen, is it true or not? I hope not, and I don't know, because he'll change it on you. He'll say that the girls can't get bacon because bacon is grown food. They can't get this because it's grown food, and they can't get his bottled waters because it's for grown-ups, right? They can't get chips, these certain type of chips, because they for grown-ups and shit like that. And like I like, why is what people sending them the money for the girls? So that means that pizza was for them. And he was the first to get a piece. And when they asked for more, based on what he showed us, is he wouldn't give them any more. He told them no. And the pizza was for them, though. What's going on, Studio Mansion? Tequila, Sin. I think I say hi to Taylor. She told me when she told me I told you so. Um, anyway, listen. I only tried to help, and then he cracked jokes on me, which I can deal with. He's always done something similar to that, right? But when he started bringing up the children in the neck, and things that I may have told him in confidence, and I promise you, if I tell you something in confidence like that, it's because I'm trying to. I feel like maybe it'll help you understand. We was in the back, and it was not just me. So and that's what I like. I like when there's somebody else there, so nobody could call me a liar, right? But Brownie had ended that stream. Brownie could have soaked that shit up. Whatever the conversation was, I can't remember. I think it was about that woman, who he brought to YouTube, and she was talking about him, and they were going back and forth, and Brownie was reviewing it, and he ended up coming over, and then he started wilding. I think his sister ended up there, right? I think that's the stream. And Brownie ended that shit when it was popping. You understand? It was popping. Something happened, and she said, "No, that's not gonna happen over here." And she ended it. But we didn't leave. We was in the back. And we kept telling him, JP, the stream ended. She ended the stream. And he said, "You ended it?" We said, "Yeah." And then we started talking. Brownie was telling me, "Hey, don't let these people get under your skin like that. Don't do that." She was giving him words of encouragement. Nothing but words of encouragement. I only saw her give him word of encouragement. And then he would shit on her like this. And what I notice about him is the people who become the closest, he think he could shit on. And some women not handle that. Hey, DB, some people not gonna handle that. I know for a fact the men don't do that shit. When he step on their toes a little too much, them niggas walk away. That his money makers, the money used to come from the men the most over there on his channel. See, he never paid attention. He had big bull, and a few of them men, they was heavily donating to him. I remember he went in Walmart and he was showing like certain things he want for the truck. He said, "I want that, and look how much it is." And Red, big bull, big big bad, but you don't know what I'm talking about. He sent them the money. He cashed out the money. He said, or super chatted the money right there, right then and there. And then I started not seeing him around. Because JP, he'll say, "Just because you give me money, you can't control me." So you know what I mean? You give him something, then he starts thinking you're trying to control him because you gave him money. And so he can have the numbers, but he's not going to get the donations because the women have put their foot down and said, "No, I'm not, you know, now, you ain't got to donate." What I was saying the other day, hey, just don't tell other people not to donate. But most of the people over there came from that other area over there where he went. And they just want to laugh at him. They can't believe the shit that he's saying and doing. And most of them not going to donate. So the people not going to donate to him. They're going to be the very few. You know what I'm saying? The very few. And ain't got nothing to do with me. Yes, he burned bridges with every fucking body. Because, like, the truth is, he done said some things to me and all kind of shit while I'm on the panel. I start joking with him and, to put it in where it's a joke ain't no problem. Okay, we could joke. And then I realized, but I can't joke back with him. Because he put me in the back the other day. I was like, "Nigga, I put you in the back." But I usually, and most of y'all know, when people ask me how much to kick somebody off, usually I'd be like, "Nah," but I'm saying the nigga put me in the back, and then he would let other people speak over me. You know what I mean? He let that awesome dude. He knew it was my turn. He told me. He's like, "Bomb, hold your thought. For when we come back, we're gonna take a commercial." We took the commercial. When we got back, it was my turn, and awesome shit was acting up, right? And then when awesome came back, awesome said, "Can I go now?" And I said, "Nah, it's my turn." And then he said, "Let awesome go." What? Nigga, what? I started having to write notes. That nigga talked so long winded. But anyway, right now I'm just giving y'all the rundown of how this shit went, and the drag is about to happen. Okay, I really don't even have to crack no jokes or nothing on JP. His motherfucking life is a joke. The nigga was just homeless last year. staying in the shelter with a fucking man in the bed next to him. And the nigga felt comfortable. He felt comfortable, right? He went live and we could hear the other nigga in the next bed. The nigga would have did better being in jail. You understand? At least he would have known that his shit gonna be secure. The nigga was in a shelter with a nigga he didn't know in the bed next to him. A nigga didn't know. The nigga was laying in the bed next door. Nigga didn't know. A nigga didn't know. The nigga, listen, I don't have to crack no jokes on this nigga and his fucking life. The nigga walked into a fucking store and showed us him stealing deodorant, motherfucker. Deodorant, you could have went to the Dollar Tree and got deodorant for $1.25. This nigga walked into a store, opened the shit up, tequila. Listen to me, sister. Listen to me, sisters and gentlemen. Man, look, this nigga walked into a motherfucking store. Not like a Wawa or 7-Eleven. No, this nigga walked into a store, a big store, right? A box store, walked into that motherfucker, opened the deodorant, and put it on because he had a job interview. The nigga didn't have a job. That's why he became homeless. And on top of that, that's why he couldn't afford no fucking deodorant. He opened that motherfucking deodorant up and showed us him rolling it under his nasty, stunky, funky arms. Now just imagine a nigga putting perfume on a pig that just got out the slop. You're stinky and deodorant ain't gonna help you, my brother. And to steal it, nigga, you probably could have went and told them people, I got a job interview, I can't really afford it. Somebody would have bought you that fucking deodorant. But when he did that shit, then I was like, God damn. Because he don't care about others. See, because somebody possibly with 99%, if they didn't see what he did, somebody gonna buy that deodorant. A deodorant that they don't know somebody already used. You understand what I'm saying? And I was like, what the? Yeah, I see Randy. Randy always in the chat, baby. I ain't speak to him, but I did see him. Hey Mel. Hey Davy. How you doing? We know he ain't taking a bath. You know how we know? Because we seen him give the girls a bath, which is ridiculous. It's like, what in the fuck? First day of school, the camera was at the ceiling, but he was giving the girls a bath or telling his older daughter how to wash the younger daughter. And I was like, why would he do it? Like, why? For what? For what? For what? For what? Nigga, show us you taking a bath. The last time I seen that nigga take any type of bath or shower is when his wife was there. And she would say, Jay, you got to go take a shower. That nigga can call me a hoe all he want. He can't prove it, though. You know, look, the hoe versus the retard. You know, there are people who are slow. Randy Slowcale's in the chat, so we all know this is possible, right? They slow. Some of them can take care of themselves. Some of them can't. Now, I'm hoping Randy could take care of himself as far as his personal hygiene, because that's a big nigga, okay? And if that nigga smell bad, ooh, he's smelling like rotten bacon, fried bacon, okay? Because his legs rub together and shit. So, Randy, I'm hoping that you yourself that you know how to get in a shower or a bath, nigga. And showering isn't good for you. First, you need to sit them thick thighs in some bath water, nigga, with some antibacterial soap, nigga. Okay. And then I start for school all the time. I know, 10 minutes, baby. When I get in the wash, man, I'm in there for like 20 minutes. Y'all ain't never see me say I'm going to take a shower, then I'll be right. Then I might say I'll be right back. And then half hour, I'll pop back up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might be an hour because if I jumped in the tub, then I can assure you I'm going to soak in that. Okay. And if I get in the shower, I'm gonna be in there at least 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, because the water feels so good. And I have a shower that a two-seater. It's hubby and I shower. So it's a two-seater. He can sit on one side while I sit on the other. Now he never sits down because he a man, you men y'all don't sit down even if he have to sit down, he probably go. I'm gonna have to fuss with him. Oh man, sit your ass down before you fall. That's how I imagine we're gonna be when we get a little older. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to make him do things. But my ass sit down, baby. I sit down. You know what I mean? Cause I still want to sit down and wash all the bitty bitties. JP don't. We know his bitty bitties stink. Okay. He gets on camera in the same shirt, and the women mention it to him, and he's not even smart enough to say, "Damn, they already saw me in this shirt yesterday. Let me put on this one today." Y'all be down the days he got on that black wife beater, right? Or that. God damn. Sin 7, this fight started a couple of days ago on his channel with that awesome dude. Okay. And actually, to be honest, he said some things to me even like earlier in the week, and I think that's why hubby is mad, you know what I mean? And I can't, and my husband get mad. Like sometimes, I don't be caring because I will drag a nigga. That's, like that that he put me in the back. He put me in the back. I won't put him in the back, right? When he was up here fighting and he didn't win because, he the one who started it asking somebody a question, and when she gave the answer, he didn't like it. And then he was like, BombCherry, I'm not gonna be yelling over nobody. And I'm like, dude, you started it. Like, what you want me to do? Which, like, you know what I mean? He put me in the fucking back. He tells me to calm down, and shit. So I don't know why he think I'm gonna give him any special privileges over here. Everybody gets special privileges. Everybody gets treated the same. Okay. And he asked who it was, Voice of Venus. He asked her a question and she said, I don't mess with you like that. And he said, nah. And he insisted. And she said, well, when you went over there, you was cooning. And he didn't like that shit right there. Okay. I had nothing to do with it. So I don't know why he reaching out for me to protect him. I never said, Jay Prince, protect me. Knock him down. Put him in the back. I understand. Listen, ladies. I know we got some men in here. This is not at y'all. If it don't fit, don't put it on. Okay, listen. They have some men, some men. They tell you what their rules are, and they expect that everybody gonna follow. Right now, if I think the person is cool, they respectful to me, then I'll oblige. You understand? I will oblige them. They don't like to be brought up, then I won't do it. Now I can't stop other people from what they doing. I'm not gonna fight other people because somebody brings up your name or anything like that. I'm using this as an example, right? So if J Prince name comes up, y'all have noticed I don't say anything. And then when people ask me, I'll be like, well, yeah, I'm cool with JP. And then people be like, yeah, we know you're cool with JP Bob. You know what I mean? And so I'm not gonna stop speaking, but I just don't get involved. And y'all welcome to talk about it. I'm not gonna stop you from talking about it because you're adults, okay? But these niggas be thinking that you gotta oblige by their rules. So JP don't like when people put his name in the title, and so therefore I don't have his name in the title ever until yesterday. and today, bitch. He lucky the title ain't just him, bitch. Okay? It should have been first, nigga. I know he don't like it. And when he don't like nobody talking about him or reviewing it. He probably more mad about me reviewing, but nigga, I didn't review this many things, nigga, that would have had us over here cracking up and laughing. I would have reviewed you and that fucking deodorant. You and that scam you tried to pull with the hospital. I should have stayed my ass out that chat and let you continue doing what the fuck you was doing, nigga, and you would be in jail. That nigga went in a store and on live said, I'm about to catch a lick. The nigga keep giving people content. The truth is, your children would be taken. You better not fuck with me, little nigga. Let me calm my ass down. Cause see, when you went in that store with them fucking kids, nigga, and said, watch me catch a lick, nigga, and then you fell to that ground and you got in that ambulance and went, nigga, if you don't think that was child abuse, nigga, you wrong. If somebody would have sent CPS some shit like that, nigga, you have an open case. But you keep saying they left. Yeah, they're going to leave, right? And they're going to continue their investigation. They're going to keep coming to your house. You think that shit is normal. Motherfucker, somebody called CPS on my house one time. They walked through one time only because I let them, because I didn't have to let them. I know my rights, but I let them because I ain't got no kids to lose, you see? And they walked through. I let them walk through, and they walked out, and they ain't say shit again. I ain't hear shit, not nothing. They sent me a paper, case closed. In fact, they gave it to me right there. She told me we're gonna be sending you a letter. You'll get it in 5 to 7 days. Give us a week. They're gonna say that it's shut closed, and that's it. Yes, he needs CPS. He even says, I'm glad I got him in my life. What you mean you got him? You glad you got him in your life? That's ridiculous. But see, I remember him when his name was James. And I remember the things he said. Some of y'all who support him, y'all don't know what he said about 10 years ago. Because we 5 years after, it's about 10, damn near 10 years ago when he had his oldest, he had just gotten the youngest, and he had the oldest, who at the time was like 5 years old, changing them babies' diapers because he said he didn't want to change them because he'll be accused. He had a 5-year-old changing a infant's diaper. Kendra has been taking care of them kids since she was a kid. She still is a kid. So I'm a chill. Yes, yes, Brownie Ellie. That nigga used to. We knew about him wanting a food truck even before he had a food truck. Now we find out that nigga ain't gonna know what to do with the food truck. He brags about having it sitting over there when he told him, "Look, that's my food truck." He proud about having it, and yet he ain't cooking shit and it making no money on it or nothing. Black bitches bought him that goddamn food truck. He didn't buy it. Black bitches bought it for him. That nigga, so people watching, the women watching, making sure everything good with the girls. They're gonna make sure they good. And while the nigga attacks the women, and I have been trying to say, hey, slow it down on attacking your viewers. You know what I mean? Let your chat do what it do. You do what you do. Let your chat do what it do, and everybody gonna be over here, and eventually you'll grow. But everything could be going good, and then bam, that nigga could switch it up and he starts attacking black women. All it takes is for another woman to come over, and then all of a sudden the nigga start attacking and putting that woman against black women. And that's when I say, hey, why would you put black women against any other woman? Like, if you're gonna be with other women, we okay with it. I would like to see another raggedy hoe end up with that nigga to see how that shit work out for her. Okay, we're gonna warn her. Hey, Reese, we're gonna warn her first. We're gonna say, hey, bitch, don't get with that nigga. She gonna do what she wanna do, and then she gonna realize that he stink. Won't take no baths, no showers. She gonna realize that they gotta go from hotel to hotel. She gonna be homeless with that nigga. He would be homeless right now if it wasn't for a black bitch. His wife. His wife got in that house. Go ahead, Reese. How you doing, sis?
Hey, Bomb. Yeah, no, I'm
Hey,
listening. Yeah, that's a problem for me too. Black bitches support this shit. When he sits there all day and talks about his hatred for black bitches, I mean, I don't get it. I'm just listening now.
okay. Yeah, the women over there, we watched the women who want to take care of the girls, right? I even asked them, I was like, hey, is there a black woman in his neighborhood see them girls' hair? They would want to help him. But now that they hear him, because he going to tell them about his YouTube channel, then he going to sit with him and start talking with him on YouTube. And he going to bring up the black woman shit. And them black women, and they may have the conversation with him, but they're going to back away from him, which we see happening time and time again. He thinks that beating up on women and insulting them is a love language. To him, it's a love language. He's admitted that. And he didn't like when I brought it up. I said, you like Sophia, right? He don't even know who Sophia is. None of us know who Sophia is. And it don't even matter who she is. I know he be getting turned on by her, because while she talking that shit, he give her a wrench. Then he get mad and he take the wrench away. Then he gonna give it to her again. Then he gonna take it away. He gonna give it to her again. And she pushed the envelope and pushed, and Reese got her wrench. When he noticed you, he get turned on by that shit. He love it. Okay, he loved that shit. And I told him, and he giggled and laughed, because I was like, nigga, you said that's what you like. That's why I'm shocked that his wife ended up marrying him, because that nigga said he liked to fight so they can have great sex in the bedroom. He so when he was picking on her and shit, he wanted to fight so they could make up in the bedroom. And I was like, where did he learn this psychological fuck shit from? I don't know. But like, most people not dealing with that shit today. That's some abusive type of shit right there. I No, I'm not trying to destroy his channel, eggs, but I see what you're saying. You said it'll survive if women still support. They support. Men are sending super chats, but um it won't last. Women keep his channel going, and that is true. When he was on life support over there, it was mostly women over there. The men had walked away. So you're right about that. The men had walked away. The men are the ones who send the super chats to. They're the ones who send the money. But the women sending things for the girls, And not look, I'm not trying to take none of that from him. Everybody gonna do what they want to do. My stream is not about telling anybody what to do with your money. Support if you want to support, however you want to do it. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to destroy his channel, because I can't, right? Actually, I can, because if we did a 15-day on that nigga, you know, and gives people some motherfucking real goddamn content, and then yeah, but he'll always find some people who find what he's doing to be outrageous. But then he gonna have the people who find it outrageous, and those are the people gonna call CPS. Those are the people gonna call those churches ahead of time, and they will know him before he pop up. They gonna know him before he pop up. He's not gonna be able to go to a church every month, and that's how he gonna end up homeless. There are many homeless children I think he think because he got the girls, he ain't gonna get homeless. But I don't know how he can think that. He was just homeless last year. And that's when they'll take them kids.
Where was the kids when he was homeless?
Girl, at his sister's, and then
Mm.
yeah,
What happened?
he,
And then he what?
he had to hurry up and get a place, and that's when he showed that fake ass ring online, and his wife came back, and then she got him a place.
I just got a recommendation for a video that said it was JP and Flora in the thumbnail, but it was on a members only, so I couldn't watch it. But it said that they're not homeless no more or whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
she went. I watched him when they got the place. He was all excited, and she was like, "Jay, the rule is we're not gonna, the camera can't be on. Don't show our place." And he said, "Yeah." She says, "I can't show the place." And he was smiling, grinning from ear to ear. And then as soon as they moved in, he broke all those boundaries that she set forth. Talking about, you can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna be me. But he didn't say that before they got in that place. You see? And now when people mention that she got in the place, he says, well, she used fake this and fake that. Well, she used fake this and fake that. You helped her. You knew she was doing that. And you benefited. She didn't do that by herself because everybody with a brain would have known she using fake things. How? Because she didn't have a job, you didn't have a job, and you can't get no apartment with no job. So I knew that they had to set something up to get that place. Because you gotta have a almost double the rent. You gotta make the rent in a week in most places.
Mm-hmm. But how come he couldn't use fake documents then to get a place? How come she had to? He couldn't figure that out before she came there, like, or he
No,
couldn't
he's
do it
slow.
like without,
Yeah, he's slow.
or where she has better credit.
No, he says she had no credit. She
Mm.
just know, some people just know how to get the documents, and fix some things
Right.
up. Yeah. But it don't even, and that don't really matter that much as long as you keep up with the payments, make sure you keep the payments up and live. This nigga can't even keep the payments up. How he thought they gonna keep the payments up without a job? How is it a man who thinks he don't have to go to work? Because a man nor a woman, if you got an apartment, you're gonna have 3 months before they kick you out, which is weird to me that every month they about to kick him out. He must be behind, but he keeping it to where it don't go
Mm.
3 months. You see what I'm saying?
Well, okay, so I had noticed like last month or whatever, or like this month, he was like he had called the lady and he had partial, and it's crazy, Mom, because in the beginning of the month, or like maybe he was coming up on the rent and he was stressing about it. He was $500 or $400 short. They cash apped him the money. He spent the rest of the next week riding around in Ubers. So then a week goes by and he's about 300 behind now on rent, even though he already got the money,
Mm-hmm.
all of it. But he was spending it throughout the week. So I remember he called the landlord and asked if he could bring partial of it and try to get something else. He was going to churches and begging. And then one day he was on a live, cussing everybody out and everything. And in the middle of the live, he got a call from somebody. He had already had like partial of the money. Somebody had paid it for him. And then he said he got a call that somebody was going to pay the rest. So then his mood went up. He was super happy and everything. So that was just this month. That was like a couple days ago that happened. Somebody paid his full rent. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck he be doing, but people be helping him. And like even that white lady, Kimberly, she be saying little shit, but not really though. She be donating, and she be saying like, cause she has said to him that she wasn't gonna donate until she could talk to Kendra, and he's like, why would you want to talk to my daughter? Blah blah blah, this and that, and I guess you want to see where her money going. I don't know. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
what? I don't know. But
Kendra old enough to, she's old enough to talk. She want
right.
Kendra to know that this is for you. I'm sending this for you.
Right.
And she said
That's
she's
what I
on a
was thinking.
income, and she she helps.
Right. Well, I ain't seen her there since that day. He cussed her out, and I think he blocked her, timed her out, or whatever. But um, yeah, like so, people like her, like I know people being there helping. And then just now, when he had just did this little live stream, he was like, "Yeah, I should have listened to Miss Lockhart." Like, I guess talking about you, like saying, "Yeah, I should have known about Bomb and all that." Like,
Yeah, he should have listened to Miss Lockhart. He did listen to her, right?
right,
And so I guess this is where we were, because I I promise you, anything he put out that I shared with him was nothing but help. Pictures of, little flyers, just like well, I don't want to say people name, when she was saying the other day, she was helping him too. It's a lot of us helping him. Even Lockhart, I'm quite sure she was helping. She got up there, and was helping him, even though I was up there and I had already told him the same thing. She came up there to repeat that I said, but it's okay. I didn't care about that, right? I figured we all try to help him. Because remember that fake hospital, or not the one when he slipped and fell, when he went to the hospital with a panic attack, he claimed? That was the day they finished his truck, and he was supposed to pay them at the end. But you notice he know that he didn't have that money. And he ended up talking about he's sick, and went to had them come pick him up. He went to the hospital. And then now he had to argue with the people about, well, you didn't spend that much time. So, you know what I mean? So he's talking about the price, and they like, okay, well, we'll take that off, pay us. But he got the money. So he came over here, and I was like, dude, you ain't pay them people ahead of time? No problem. I said, you got the money? No, I'm gonna work out a deal. What you mean you gonna work out a deal? You should have worked out the deal beforehand.
right.
Beforehand. What kind of what? You should have told the people, look, when I get this done, I'm gonna make payments, and if they agree, then good. If not, then. But now he got it done, girl. The truck is done, and he still ain't doing it. I'm talking about he need the money to get the license. So you got all that money, thousands into it, but you can't even come up with a few hundred to get the license. He don't want to do that work. He got the hot dog cart. That's even less for the license. Why he ain't keep that up? Because of us on the internet, not us. Okay, not us. And no us. I ain't never give him no money. I give him advice. Okay, like that. I give him advice. Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
yeah,
And you know what else? He just wasted all that money on that liquor, whatever he was trying to do, bartender license, liquor license, whatever he was trying to get. He wasted all that money on it and didn't do no research. So you didn't know you couldn't get it before you paid money. Like,
yeah,
and then you don't even have the job at that place that you was supposedly trying to get this job at. So he's just doing all types of just dumb shit. Like, and I feel like the only reason why he got a little bit of good luck is because he got those kids.
yeah. And that's what he says. He says it all the time. You don't hear him? They black women get things. Um, Somebody had told me that he when he got the kids early from school so he could go to the church with them. So now they looking at these girls in their eyes, and they gonna help with something. That's crazy. He's using them. But Sin said something that I think most of us agree with. She said, this is JP's principle. JP buys what he wants and begs for what he needs. The
Damn,
truck
that's
still need,
true.
yeah, look, somebody say his truck still need inspection and he won't pass that. And that could be true too. Um,
Yeah, there is something. That's why I think that is why he ain't using that truck because it's something like that.
oh, okay.
Yeah, like a license or a permit or something.
Yeah, he need that. I thought that's what he was spending all the money to get everything up to par. That's a lot of money got put in there. They got the running water, everything that he needs to do everything.
When I see him at a kitchen stove, I'm like, there's no way in hell. Like he doesn't cook at all. Like my brother used to work at Ruby. Like he worked at different restaurants, but he used to cook. He can actually cook, like he looks coordinated when he's at the stove and everything. JP looks sloppy, nasty. He don't know what he's doing. It doesn't look appetizing. Like, I mean, I don't really even think that's for him. And then he doesn't even work hard or try. So it's just like the shit that he be doing is
Introverted
just
say,
outrageous.
introverted say he didn't know they didn't go to school at all that day. Wow. Okay. Um, I don't know much about Lockhart. You said Lockhart is actually a very attractive woman. Yeah, I think she's attractive. Plus, she's married. Um, I guess she is. She says I'm not married, so she must not be married either. And I just don't like her personality. So she comes in. It's not her personality that I have an issue with, because we older, y'all, and I guess when we speak, we confident in what we say. So I don't have no problem with none of that. And it's okay if other people do, right? Because y'all might say that about me too, right? It's just that like, she comes in. For those of us with wrenches, y'all seen it, right? When you got a wrench, you can see who's timing out people and blocking people. She comes right. The chat is flowing good. Yes, people cracking on him, but the chat is going. More people coming. The more higher your numbers are, the more people come over, right? And so everything's going good. And then she comes. I wasn't even in the chat, but I was watching on my TV, right? I was doing some work, watching on TV, laughing at the comments, looking at his crazy ass, laughing at him, and everything, right? And then I see her come in and just swipe in and start timing. She deleted one of your comments, Reese. She was hitting the moderators. I was like, yeah, and that's when I ran upstairs, got on my computer, and be like, hey, stop messing with the chat.
Right. And when they hit your comments, you can't. Well, like if I get blocked, I can't see who blocked me. Like even with a wrench.
Yeah, but I can see it. So
Yeah.
I didn't mention her. I didn't even mention her name, right? I did not mention her name. I didn't mention anybody's name. And but I guess she knows she did it, so she just automatically made it seem like I'm attacking her. And how am I attacking her? I didn't mention her name. I didn't even attack her. I was like, hey, let the chat run. Let the chat run. This is how he gonna get his numbers. This is how he gonna get his subscriptions. And then it gets crazy. And then he have people who have big wrenches. He don't even really know them. That's the weirdest thing right there. Hey, Tony, two-step, but y'all motherfuckers got names. He was over there with that other nigga who great a young woman. Ooh, who he was where he was at. Hey, Kimberly's life, how you doing? He taught his oldest how to pick her nose. What? She did the other day. She was in a BG and I saw her pick her nose and put her finger in her mouth. Oh my goodness. And I also, wow. He be spitting on the floor? I didn't even notice that until y'all was like, did he just spit on the floor? I'm like, what? Now, let me just say this, okay? So if when I see him do things like that, I'm like, JP, that's why I asked. And I asked in a nice way. I think the nicest I could think of. So maybe it wasn't so nice, but to me it was the nicest I could think of when I asked him, hey, do if people found your food truck and they found you on the internet, do you think they would want to eat from your food truck? That was the nicest way I could think of saying, right? To me, that's nice. I don't know. Maybe y'all might think different. The truth, though, the way it comes to me is like, nigga, you nasty. We watch you do nasty shit here on the internet. Ain't no way nobody gonna buy no food from you from no food truck. That's what came to mind, and I sweetened that shit up. And I said, "Do you think they're gonna buy food from you?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Why? What you mean?" He said, "Because when I'm at home, I let my hair down." But I wanted to say, no, that's when you spit on the floor. We watch you take a poop on the toilet live. I'm like, oh, that's for me. I ordered something. Oh, oh, something must. Okay, thank you, babe. Um, so I do tone it down for him because I'm trying to be nice, but I'm trying to also let him see, like, hopefully he'll see when I ask him those things, but he don't listen. Okay, and that nigga just will spit. He don't give a damn. Even- Oh, okay. My cousin is in Germany right now. He just sent me pictures. Anyway, I don't know. Listen, everybody. I JP is let me look, I usually say that JP is JP. He said he gonna be who he be, and he is who he is, and he won't change, not even for his family, right? Um, He'll change with some niggas run him down with some bullets, though. Y'all know that's what made him change cities. Like the nigga claimed that he thug nigga. What he mean is that he used to be a thug nigga. When he started talking about, I heard him yesterday on a panel over there by Witch Doctor, when the nigga said, that he'll harm some people's children, but he got children too. See, that's the weakness in society, right? The people care about their children. When we start having children, that's a weak point for everybody, all of us, right? Who care about our children. And but then they do have some people, as we can see based on him, who don't care about their children, right? Because a man did get up there and say, "Hey, do you think you should change for your children?" Like talking to your children a certain way. You have girls, right? And he's purposely turning them girls into the thing that he claimed that we are, and he wants to talk about. If you want your girls to be feminine, then you will teach them that being feminine is a good thing. They wouldn't be eating their boogers. They wouldn't be being wrestled with. He got a wife who say, "Hey, don't treat them like that. They girls." He like, "I'm their daddy. I can wrestle with them." And she's like, "But they girls." So she's giving her input from a woman's standpoint on how to raise your little girls to be girls and be respectable little girls. And he's want them to be like boys. And so there's a way where you can include both. No, go ahead. What you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, exactly. I agree. He don't teach them no manners, nothing. I mean, people will be like, "Hey, pretty ladies," and they won't say thank you, like nothing. Like, but he, is ready to wrestle them and call them monkeys and shit like that. Like,
Right. And we as the women over there, as far as I can see, all the women, right, are saying how beautiful they are. We're, you know, we we know that that could be a little iffy, right? Because if men was just saying, "Look how beautiful your daughters are," it could be thought of as creepy. But we're doing it because we want them to know that they are beautiful because their dad is telling them that they're ugly. So I noted, like,
exactly.
the women, yes, we all are over there. Look how beautiful she is. Look, you're beautiful, Kendra. We love you, Kendra. We love y'all. We let them know that they're loved by somebody because they need that, right? Um, and I don't know. I think he think that we love him. He says it. He says it,
Yeah.
and I think he knows that we gonna keep supporting because of the children. And he thinks that he can be allowed to, disrespect. And it's up to y'all as individuals on how y'all gonna deal with that. I've watched people, deal with it by leaving. Uh, yeah, I'm not fucking with him no more like that. Cause like you know what I mean. And it wasn't even that bad, but I don't know why you over there talking about my husband. My husband would beat the motherfucking shit out of him. But then again, he okay. My husband would my Anyway, fuck that nigga over there, man. Hey, Kills, what's going on? Flower, how you doing? Zaza, is it Zaza? So just because someone does it doesn't mean you need to do it back. Well, I'm not sure what Zaza is talking about. Um, his mother was a drunk and she was trying to drive with the kids in the car and she had no license. She got in a fight with some other motorist and ended up dead. Who? Who I'm talking about? His mother passed away in weird circumstances. Or wait, what? Taylor crazy. Yeah. I'm winding up. I'm trying to see who. I'm almost positive his parents were alcoholic. You crazy. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Did I time somebody out? Wait a minute, y'all. Undo what I did. Undo what I did. I did something. What the hell? I got a touch screen. I think Eggs and Grits said something. He said, I'm not supporting. I went over there because I was entertaining in the chat. I'm sorry. I deleted your comment by accident. Yo, I got a touch screen. I was trying to scroll up and I ended up deleting. I got timed out by his bitch ass mods for asking when is he going to bash CT or which doctor. This dude, you crazy, baby. Yeah, crazy. I try to tell him, I'll be trying because I know who the bomb squad is. So it look, I be getting mad when I see what they do with the bomb squad. I ain't gonna lie, y'all know I'm protective. And the other day I kind of said it, even though I've been thinking it for a while. I'm like, hey, you need to I think I think you need to un unblock some people. Unblock everybody you just block. I didn't even want to give out no names on who bomb squad members are. I'm like, just unblock everybody you block. I'm like, okay, because he claimed he don't talk about people no more, but he does. Okay. He walks up to strangers on the street and start mentioning everybody by their name. And he goes, "There's a woman named Sugar Bum." What? I'm like, that's crazy, baby. That's crazy. But I think they think it's funny because if somebody walked up to me and I would think it's a skit with some cameras sitting around somewhere. I guess that's the society we in today. But goddamn, well, we know he's listening. We don't give a damn, okay? Because he knows that I didn't do him anything wrong. I did not talk negatively about his children. They are beautiful little girls. I only hope nothing but the best about him. And listen, let me just say this. I have children, but they aren't children anymore. But they are always my children, right? So just because my children are older doesn't mean that I want to hear somebody talk about my children, right? So here I am saying nothing but lovely things about your children. And then as soon as you get mad, you talk negatively about my children. And then people be like, but Mom, your children older, his children younger. And I'm thinking, but y'all don't understand in a mother's and possibly a father. I don't know about a father. And let me just not even say a mother's. In my mind, my children will always be my children. I see them as the men that they are, and then I can blink and I can see them as the day I birthed them. They are my fucking children, and I love them. I ain't never do nothing or put them in harm's way, and I ain't going. And so, yes, I because I love my children, I don't want nobody talking about it, especially if they ain't got nothing to do with any of this shit. So I wonder why it is that they think they can talk about my children when I'm not talking about their children. And you know, and so I'm okay with you talking about my children, but I can only take so much about that shit, right? I didn't talk about his wife in a negative way. In fact, I kept telling him, "Hey, that's your wife still. You shouldn't be going around shitting on her, and you should support her and stop people from thinking that they could talk about her around her, right? Um, but what what do we expect from a nigga who don't care about nobody? When I asked him, when I was like, hey, you got to take care of your business first. The men are telling you got to take care of your business first. Who goes to churches right when they about to get evicted? Even if I knew we was all falling on hard times, shit, I would go and get me a motherfucking job. Something, something. Start riding. I'll have to go and get my license because I let that shit expire. Um, go get my license renewed, and I would start driving for somebody to bring some money in. I wouldn't be spending the money on Uber. I would end up being the fucking Uber. The Uber Eats or whatever. I don't even know what these things called. The Lyft, whatever. And that's what you do for your family. You make sure they're good and safe. And there's a couple of things that they need. Shelter, which he is not really providing, right? That's gonna be the downfall right there. The shelter is gonna be his downfall. That's when CPS gonna come in. Because that's the main one. Shelter, food, and clothing. Shelter, food, and clothing. Shelter, food, and clothing. That's all. That's what they care about. And if he's homeless for so long, they come and get them kids. Am I the only one that loves bomb accent? Hey, the WAP pastor, how you doing? Flower, what's going on? Studio Mansion. My stance about this is really don't think JP can do better. Damn. You know what? That's why I like Stenberry. Because that's why I wish he would just get approved for a disability check, which he could. I don't think he liked that I said that, but he could. He's not capable of working around people or taking care of patients. Oh, he take care of patients? Look, some of y'all be wanting to look, and I'm not even saying you're wrong, 10-7, right? I think it looks more like that you're right than I'm right. I'm gonna be honest. And I've seen you say that for a while now. I've always had the hope. I have hopefulness and thinking that, well, maybe with a little guidance, but I'm not sure what a narcissist, I don't know these. I don't know. I just be wanting to help. But you've been saying that for a while, and I think you're more likely right than I am. Okay. God damn. I have this thing of wanting to help people. Like if I think I see something in them, and I don't even know if I see something in them, but I see, I don't see him being a great this and that and this, right? When I think when some of us say we see something in them, we hoping that there's something there, right? I've never had a dream that he gonna be this, that, or the third. I really, I did have a dream, right? But it's not about him. It is about the girls. And I don't want it. I will not tell y'all what the dream is. But what I will say is that the route in which they're on right now ends up bad. Okay. Um, in fact, I just saw a video yesterday, and one of them will end up just like that little girl Nova. And that's all I'm gonna say. And in about 5 years, y'all gonna be like, damn, Tom predicted that. That's what I will say. And I hate putting things out in because then people say you put it out in the, no, I'm telling you that was a dream. I'm telling you that that's what I foresaw. And I, I'm hoping that it can be changed. So you reach out You reach out and help, hoping that, it could be changed. So I guess that's who I am. He can't do Uber because no, I agree with that. He got no license. Anyway, got to do a background check to do Uber. God damn. Yeah, and that's what got me. Let me tell you what got me. When I mentioned, when he said, "Oh, nobody cares about jail. Mom, nobody give a fuck about going to jail," and I'm like, "What? What you mean nobody care about going to jail?" And here he is trying to get something where all those charges and things is affecting him, And so the message should be from a elder or older man to younger men is that, hey, bro, you don't want to get these charges. Do whatever you can do. Stay in school, right? Because if they're young and not in school, what else are they doing? What else would a young person be doing if they're not in school when they're school age? Oh, okay. So they'll find some trouble to get into because our society don't have no place where young people could go and and learn in other ways, you know. Um, so if I didn't go to school when I was younger, um, I don't know what I would be doing. Okay, we know he can't teach them. If he was educated, enough where he could teach his own kids, then he can definitely be like I'm a homeschooler. But last year he homeschooled them kids, and we know damn well he did not homeschool them kids. He homeschooled them kids because they would have got taken from him because they wasn't going to school. They was missing too much school. Now, kids, you get them up, you get them ready, you get them to school. They're not the ones complaining about going to school. It's the adult who want to be too fucking lazy to get his ass up to make sure them girls go to school. Talking about she was walking to school by her goddamn self as young as she was. And when he tell his story, he want to gloss over all that shit, all the fuckery, all in his story, so he can land it where he wanted to land it at. And everybody should have and was thinking, why was she walking to school that young by herself? Shit. Okay, let me see. Why he said that he will get to face his accusers, niggas stretching the truth. I don't even know. Um, but
Um, he is slow. Like something wrong with him. Like, I mean, I know he can have like a somewhat of a conversation sometimes, but like the way his mind is, and then when he be thinking he's saying something intelligent, like it's something wrong with him. Like,
Kimberly said she got suspended. She got suspended. Oh, okay. I yeah, I don't know. Sophia, Sophia be eating that. Sophia girl, and she don't even be caring. Sophia, but she don't. But listen, this is the one thing I would say about Sophia, right? She be in that. She be telling the truth. You know what I mean? Like she don't be caring. I be like, damn. Be like she pushing it and pushing it, but he liked it.
he got mad at her because she told him that people was saying that they was gonna call CPS, and I seen it in I think No Fugazi's chat. They were saying that they said that they called and that CPS was going to do a deeper investigation and everything. And I literally just seen it like today. So, but she had told him that, and he got mad at her for that, and that's when he was timing her out and blocking her.
Oh, okay, yeah. She was telling him what she saw in another, and then he started accusing of her and you and others for calling CPS on it. Now, let me tell
Yeah.
you something. Did anybody see CPS there?
No, exactly.
Exactly.
And then
So,
right, he said Truth called him because Truth had came up there on the panel, and he
mm,
asked Truth a question, And um, I don't know. I guess the question was something along the lines of, do you think kids should have more than their parents? Um, and I
Yeah,
guess JP's answer is no. He don't think that kids should have more than their parents.
right. Yeah, that's what he said.
But yeah. So he was saying truth. Telling truth. Well, you the one that called CPS. Like, for one, I don't. Again, I don't. If I called him, I would tell you. I would say, yeah, I did it. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't
he
gotta
said.
lie.
But he said, because I think a lot of us who've been here for a minute, we don't think that it happened. And you know why I don't think it happened? Because when it has happened, he went live. People be live. We've seen when the
Exactly.
police come, right?
Right. That's
We've
what I was
seen,
about to say.
yeah, we've seen everything because he shows everything. But it just so happened CPS came and he didn't show that for you. And now he going
Right.
around doing his tour. Somebody called CPS on the key. Somebody called CPS on the key.
Even with the thing with the job, when he was like, yeah, they called my or Chili said that somebody called them and showed them my YouTube channel or something. I didn't believe that. I think that he was lying. Because I feel like he would have went live then too. I think that they must have just fired him or something along those lines. Like, he lost the job, but he wanted to blame everybody else.
Yeah, that's right.
And he could have
Remember,
lost it. They could have seen his YouTube channel, but I don't think it's because somebody called him and showed it.
no, I think he showed it. Like
Right.
he remember when he was on his interview doing his what you call him? He had us listen. We could hear the boss talk to everybody. We could hear other people talking, and then he shared. Remember when the guy called him? The guy told him to get his supervisor because he was ready to give these people ideas on how to get payments, get for them to get paid. Remember that? You I'm not sure if you watch. He was there talking about, well, is it a good idea, if you use this system for us to get paid better this way? That's like, dude, this your first day. You're not even you. This your first day, and you already trying to give them ideas on how to get payment. I was like, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I think what her name again? I think Sin Seven is right. I think and a few of y'all, we picked up that something is wrong. He don't know. I'm not sure what it's called when you can't read the room, when you don't know, that what you're doing isn't what you should be doing according to societal norms. And that's why he said, I'm gonna be me. And and if
Either
they
it's
if
oppositional defiance disorder or he's retarded, which I think is both. You know what oppositional defiance disorder is? It's like when people purposely go against the grain, like they just have to be doing wrong. Like if you tell me, Reese, don't go left, it's don't go that way. I just have to do it. He's like that type.
yeah. The chat was helping him with his orientation test. Damn.
People help him with everything, I'm like you, Mom. I try to help him with suggestions. Like, I don't sit there and tell him, oh, well, yeah, don't get your kid's hair done, don't fucking get a job, don't do nothing productive. Like how everybody else cheers him on when he sits there and shits on his kids. I don't do that type of stuff. I'm not gonna fucking give him no money, but you try to tell people like when you see like them doing stupid shit, but he just. Mm-mm. He thinks you're the enemy. He likes. I seen this nigga named Josh, somebody new with no avatar. Come in one day. He was there for one whole day, not even one whole live stream, and just kissing JP's ass, and he got a wrench. The next
Got a
day
ring.
he's in
Yeah.
there like the next day, Mom, he says, "Oh yeah, I guess he was talking about Austin." He says, "Well, Austin's daughter is cute because she's mixed."
Yeah.
So like it's just like people like that get JP's rank, like get a wrench on JP's channel. They get his attention and they that's who is he thinks that's who's for him.
Tony said, always said whoop wop the bam. Wonder what he
Woo
said
out the
too.
bam
I
and woo out the bam.
who got the bam? Who got the bam? I'd be like, okay, I don't know. We don't know what that means, but okay. Um, it should be funny. Yes, and listen, there's some people in my family who don't even never went past the third grade. but they older, and so they was able to make a life, but it's not a great life, you know what I mean? Like even today, like that's what we could do. We could go look at these older people who didn't have access, even though they had access to education, they wasn't made to go to get education, right? Um, and they end up being in like food industries, and of course they survive. But I got an aunt who should be retired. She should have retired, but she can't because she don't know how to read. She don't know laws. They scammed her all these years. She tells me that every time she worked for a restaurant, they was telling her she's her own employer. I said, wait a minute, what? Because I'm asking them when she's gonna retire. She like she got to save her money to retire. I'm like, but you've been working all ever since I was born. What you mean? I'm like, what you talking about? Like,
Damn.
and
She
huh?
can't read.
No, they can't read. Y'all younger. My generation, though, we know a lot of people, our parents, a lot of our parents, not everybody, they had some people with educated parents, where their parents were teachers and doctors and shit like that. But most of us didn't have those, and so my dad didn't go past the third grade. He had to work from being a little boy, building my grandmother's house and shit like that. And yeah, everybody who's older than me, just one generation, my cousins and uncles and aunts and grandmothers and shit like that, none of them could read. My dad couldn't read. My mom took care of all anything paperwork wise. In fact, my mom took care of anything paperwork wise for the whole family on my dad's side of the family. Now, my mom's side of the family is different, right? They were educated, and so they believed in education. So my mom got her high school diploma. My generation, that's when they start pushing further education, right? Not just getting a diploma, but we started learning about going to college and things. So, but what I'm saying, like I have some people even younger, but they didn't graduate, right? But they know how to live in the world. They know they need to make money. They learned a trade or something, and then they live in their life, and they're good at what they do. You know, but that don't happen for everybody. But it does happen for you know. But JP, he admits he don't want to go to work. He said he don't want to go to work. That's the white man's job. That's the white man's money. Can't make your own money then. Let's see how far that goes.
Right. He don't want to do shit. That's the thing. Like and then he call everybody, butlers and stuff like that. But then the thing is, he wants his daughters to be like that. And I was thinking, maybe they, have a chance, but he's actively trying to have them be
I
like
have
him.
to.
Like, yeah. Like, the other day he asked like what kind of boy she likes. And she said, he has to be older than me, like a year older than me, taller than me, black. He has to have dreads. He has to have drip, aka swag. And that was like basically it. Like, and I mean, I know she's like a little girl or whatever, but like, I mean, that's just, I don't know. Like, and then the way JP is like, they, I mean, they ain't gonna have to do much because JP don't fucking his kids anything. Like he was saying to Sugar Bum, "Oh, you got your dad in your life. If something happens, your dad is gonna be there to pick you up." Um, ain't that was how it's supposed to be though? Like that's like a problem. Cause to me, like when you say that to me, that means your kids don't have that and you don't want them to.
That's the thing, right? Because if you love your family, you do want them to have more than you. I wanted my kids to have more than me, and in fact, I pushed them. I pushed them. I even bribed them, like, "Hey, take these classes. Do this, do that. We'll get you this. We'll get you that. We'll make sure you're good, right? Until you get on your feet. We want nothing but the best for them. We definitely wouldn't listen. If my kids was bums, not wanting to work and take care of they wouldn't be able to live with me because we would have had to throw them out the nest so they can figure this shit out, you know. But yeah, if they want to move out, they can. I don't even cook for them no more. In fact, I don't do much cooking no more. I've been cooking. Hubby started taking over the cooking because, yeah, just because. But yeah, no, I understand. Like we as parents, we want better for our kids. We dream higher for them. We want them. We push them. It's called guidance. And I do that gentle. I've always done the gentle guidance, and when it didn't work, then I bribe. Okay, but the bribery is for the goodness of them. So my son do not have a degree because they were switching. The one when they went to school, I told them they didn't know what they wanted to do, so I said, "Go get your general studies, get your general stuff out the way, and then when you decide what you want to do, you can do it. And if you don't decide right away, when you do decide, they just have to go back and get the things that they want." But I always tell them, why you don't think you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could be a nurse. I asked them why they never think about those professions. Why do we think our young Black boys do not think about professions that way? If anybody
Well,
got an answer, because I don't know why.
I hear like when you tell like a lot of them online, like if you say, well, you need to own your own this or have your own infrastructure, a lot of them just say like that's not, they can't do it. They like a lot of them have a defeatist mindset mentality, like, and I'm not saying like your kids specifically or anybody like that, but I'm just saying like from the men that I hear online, like when you tell them, well, you want to strive for ownership, even like as far as like the music or like the sports thing, they always have a excuse or a reason to why they can't do it. There's never a like it's not even a possibility for a lot of them. Like
Yeah.
they don't even think that it can happen. I don't think.
And it's a little opposite that I guess because since they were young, I always told them they could be whatever they want to be, da 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 da, with education. But it's almost like there's a pack of jobs that most of us as Black people don't look at. Um, like everybody looking at IT. Okay, cool, nothing wrong with that. But everybody can't do IT. Everybody, they only got but so many IT jobs out there. So, but I wanted them to look higher. I wanted them to, maybe because we don't have nobody in our family that's all lawyers, we do have police officers in the family. We have medical field in the family, like their dad. They see their dad go to work, but their dad is not a doctor. I never said my husband was a doctor. So whoever lies and keeps saying that, I've never said that. But I would like my kids to see their dad and be like, oh, dad did this. Got to go a step above him and be the doctor, right? Or be the lawyer so he can one day be the judge. I even like, hey, you think about politics? You know what I mean? I want our people to start dreaming, and once they dream higher, they'll strive for it. But my sons, like when I give them those ideas, and I can't push it on them because then they'll claim they ain't doing it because I pushed it on them. But I just be like, you ever thought about being a doctor? Right? I'm like, by the time you're 40, you'll actually be a doctor. Actually, before that, right? They already got the college, the general out the way. They don't have a degree because you got to get a degree, you got to do all the classes that's needed to get the actual degree. But they have the credits of the classes that they've taken and passed and all that. And I'm like, just go to school for another 4 years, maybe six, depending on where you go. You know, Black beauty, that's good. And so I don't know. I am not against Black men. I know the Black men be thinking I'm against them because they hear what I say, but I only respond to what the topic is. And if they go at the Black women, then we landed at the Black man's feet. Okay. Um, but I am for humanity, to be honest. But yeah, like I care about my people, my family, right? I care about, and I don't care. Like if I had a daughter, I wouldn't care who she married, as long as that person treated her well. And my sons, I don't, whoever they fall in love with and treat them well, and they treat that person well as well. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Um, I don't do I think there be a race war? I think there's a group of people who want that to happen. And I don't think they're gonna be successful at it in a certain way. If we because there's so many mixed children out here, right? But yeah, I don't know. All the holidays are coming. Don't support and assist. Listen, I saw you, Tony. You say, look, just back up. Don't give him no. And that's why I'm gonna have to do that because I get mad. I'm passionate about people I care about, but I'm learning to step away and just step away. I've seen women do it. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'd be like, damn. They'd be like, I just don't fuck with that person no more, and they walk away. I don't think I've ever seen people do that before. In the family, I'd see where people will step away, but they still will help them if you know we don't want to never see nobody on the street hungry. So even when my brother was doing bad, he was able to come to the house, get a meal, take a shower, but then he had to go on his way. You know, um, and I need to learn, especially online. Like it's not like we real family for real. So yeah, just step away because the idea that when he ready to go, that he took it. I heard him say some things that was extreme. I'm like, damn, dude, you grown. If I talk about you, you talk about me. You want to talk about Mr. Bomb, which like whatever. Why are you bringing up talking about the children in a negative way? Like for what? But he in his feeling because he's like a child. Okay, and he should take my advice. Somebody else said in here, go get that disability check. Um, that he used to get when he was a kid. Now, I shouldn't know that he used to get that check when he was a kid, but I do. Everybody do. Could anybody who listened to him tell a story? We know he got a check when he was a kid.
Yeah, I've been saying that too. Like he definitely needed, like, what the fuck? He could probably get 100% disabled
Yeah,
because of his mental disability.
yes, he would get a check, and his children would get a check too because he get a check, and at least that'll keep him roofed, right? A roof over his head, keep him housed, and yeah, and then he'll get assistance with housing. He'll get preferential
How come
treatment.
you don't? How come you don't have that now? Because like we seen how Austin was. I mean, Awesome or whatever. Remember, he was in that shelter. I guess he got a place now. I don't know, but
Yeah. So
I know.
awesome is smarter, right?
Right.
They got agencies that help him because he was in jail, and they got agencies that help him because he got them girls. But he followed through. Probably went through a couple of programs, and he got
Shelter too. I know when you're in a shelter, they help you get a place faster because like you're actually in the shelter.
right. Well, see the thing about the shelter, you get the help, but he went through all these churches already. Now, if he was already on Section 8 list and you go in the shelter, they put him at the top of the list. It's sometimes hard to get on that list, though, depending on. And I tried to tell him, like, but he won't listen. And then, somebody else will come up there and say something different, which confuses his mind. I told him he find a place in his state where they have a Section 8 list that isn't long. It might be in the area he never even thought about going into. But if he get on that list, because the list isn't long, right? If the list is open, then he goes into a shelter, and 30 days later he'll have a place. I try to tell people this all over this country. That's how that shit works. You get on the top of the list, Section 8 list, if you're in the shelter. But you have to be on the list. And if you're not, then you ain't. They don't put you on the list just because you're homeless. That's not how it works.
Right.
But they do.
And that's what he's lazy. Like he's not. I mean, he's dumb and slow and retarded, but he can use a computer. He knows how to look things up. He can't. He don't know how to look shit up to get on a Section 8 list or whatever.
Right. He
He
lazy,
just
right.
don't do it.
Somebody asked me, is JP disabled? Yes, he's mentally disabled. He mental. He was when he was a kid, he got a check. It he didn't get the check, because his aunt got the check. And then when he got older, I guess through being embarrassed, not because they make you come, and get retested and things like that every so often. Uh, and I guess he said he wanted to say that his aunt told him to lie. But them people smart enough to know when a kid is lying, right? Even when adults lying, you can't go in there acting extra crazy. You ain't got no goddamn diagnosis and shit. They want a diagnosis from a professional. Okay. So y'all can't tell that something wrong with him. He don't know how to hold water, which means hold, he shows everything. He tells everything. And then once you re-mention it, he mad about it. He don't like hearing it from others.
That's the
Um,
craziest shit ever that he does that shit.
and his
Like,
eyes does this thing like the first time when he get mad, baby, his eyes, you can see where he's almost like it's like a different motherfucking person.
yep.
I be the head in person. I probably had to bash him in his head. Looked like he thought to kill somebody.
It's them beady eyes. It's how they get dangerous like the fucking raccoons. Oh,
Yeah.
And
beady
then he
eyes.
don't got no eyebrows. So it just
Yeah.
looks even worse.
Somebody told me that he bought a kit with money that they gave him for the girls. And I was like, why he just didn't get an eyebrow pencil? The fuck? You can't dye eyebrows on if you ain't got no hair to dye.
Can I
Yeah.
ask y'all a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, BT, how you doing?
And hey, by the way, hey y'all. So was he recently on No Fugazi's or Fugazi ass nigga podcast? Was that a
Yeah, that
recent?
girl.
And yes,
Oh my
they've been
god.
playing it all week.
So yes, did you hear where he admitted to basically raising his daughters so they could be unfit mothers? Did you hear him?
No,
He
I
the
Did he
never
guy
say
was
seen.
that?
saying,
But
so
I heard him
you
say yes, he wants his kids to be like him.
okay, he wants his kids to be, he said that, but then later on, before he invited other people up, he was saying, so you're basically saying that your daughters will be unworthy mothers later, and you would rather that their fathers get custody of any children that your daughters may have. And he said yes.
Yeah,
He said yes. So he's intentionally raising them to hate themselves, because the guy was like, "Well, if you don't want them to end up on the host roll, why wouldn't you show them better?" That's basically what he was getting at, and some of the other men. And he was
yeah.
like, "Nah."
See, but they want to blame mothers while this father is admitting he want to create that type of mother. See, I don't remember. I've never reviewed anything he's done out of respect for him because I know he don't like it. But I think we might have to review that shit. Fuck that
Oh
nigga.
yeah, definitely. I can listen. Hold
It's
on.
obvious that's what he wants though, because he sits around there talking shit. He'll have Kendra talking about her mom. The little ones still love their mom, so they don't talk bad about their mom. But he'll have Kendra doing that, talking shit about Flora. He wants them to hate black women and definitely hate themselves. He sits in that little ass fucking house talking shit about black women, how black women ain't shit, they're the bottom of the barrel all day long. He wants them to know y'all ain't shit, y'all ain't never gonna be shit, and when y'all get older, y'all ain't gonna be worth shit. He wants
Yeah.
them to know that.
Yeah, the little one ran away a few times already. Um,
Mhm.
and and listen, I think some people was over there saying CPS ain't shit, and they were right. You right? CPS got the basic of fucking basics that all you gotta meet: food, shelter, and clothes. And the clothing got to be clean. I think clean clothes, right?
Right.
And
And they gotta be fed because I mean they're not and he's fat as fuck, but they're skinny as fuck. They're malnourished and he's overweight. How does that work? He seemed to be eating good.
Yeah. Look, I think we might have to review that shit. But do we want to review it during this stream? Maybe the next stream. Put his name, and I'm gonna put the Fugazi thing in, and we're gonna talk about it. But I gotta go get something to eat. Y'all can talk if y'all want. It's up to y'all. I just had woken up, and then I was getting straight, and then I got a text message. That's what made me go live. Um. Oh, and did you get my message? I like those. What you call them? I
Oh
want
yeah,
to
yeah,
say,
yeah. I saw. I saw. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, you coming back later, or you
yeah.
was just gonna? What you gonna do? Just going to make you some breakfast and stuff?
Well, dinner about at this point.
I
So,
know.
yeah. Um. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna come back late. Because I'm supposed to be
Okay.
so.
Well, if you review it, yeah. If you review it later, I'll come back for sure.
Okay, we'll review it. Um. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And listen, um, JP, I know you listen, and like the truth is, like like it's hard for me because I try to tell you, I can only give you so much advice. You take and you don't take it. I always say that you're supposed to be the man, but the truth is, you need your ass beat, and you need somebody to direct your life, because even not even your life, but you're supposed to be directing your family, and you're doing a piss poor job. And every time you bring up CPS, nigga, you do know everybody ears perk up. Because if somebody tell me I'm a bad mother, you know what I never have to say? Well, CPS came in and told me I'm a good mother. No, nigga. You keep telling people that you are worse than they even imagine, because you already got somebody overlooking how you raise your daughters. And you don't get that. This nigga go to everybody else's area and he start mentioning CPS. He is the reason. Listen. Oh, okay, that's the link. Yeah, we're gonna check it out. I didn't see it. I didn't even see any of it. I just saw he was reviewing it when I went over there, and I was like, "Are you gonna finish reviewing that?" But uh, and I asked him, "Was you gonna do it the next day?" And I would have watched it with him, but he like going on these people panels, and he think he's doing great. That nigga look like a plum fucking fruit.
Yeah, he do. He
He
do.
thinks
We've
he's
been trying to
smart.
tell these niggas this is who y'all talking about.
He be saying I ate Cynthia G up like a million times. I be eating these people up. They think that they have the white man's knowledge, but I got something else. I don't know what the fuck he think he has, but he's dumb as fuck. Like he's stupid as shit. And he be sitting there with his like fingers on his head and stuff, like he's really talking something that makes sense. Like
They
it's
try to say
crazy.
that the Fugazi guy got views from him, and this look like this dude got lots of people. He got a 396 people. Go subscribe to him, and I'm gonna subscribe to him too, just so when I share his shit, he won't he won't feel like I'm stealing from him. I mean, let me bookmark it too. So we're gonna be back later, y'all. When I get some food, let me take some medicine and got cold and hot at the same goddamn time. Okay. Fuck out of here. Oh, did I take this? Oh, just took this medicine and I didn't read it. The same medicine I took last night. That's why I gotta get my head straight, y'all. I opened the
Yeah.
medicine thing and took it and never read it.
Mm-mm.
See what the hell it was.
Oh my god.
They already sent me this medicine. I already had like 3 months supply, and they sent me another 3 months supply, and I just took it. Girl, I just opened it and took it. That's called that brain fogginess, y'all. Because it's like I'm I'm doing one thing, and then I'm on autopilot to reach for that medicine. I opened the bag, reached for it. I know they're gonna send me something I need, and I took it, but I did not read it. Ain't that a bitch? Okay, well, at least I took tonight's dose. That's all. Okay, y'all, I'll be back later. It's menopause, baby. It's called menopause of brain, baby. Listen, I never Listen, nobody ever told me about it, and so I'm telling y'all about it, okay? I'm only gonna tell y'all what I think y'all need to prepare for. Make sure you keep your brain sharp, you know, because as you get older, they got games that keep you thinking and puzzles and things. Keep doing that when you get a chance. And to fight off what they call Alzheimer's, right? They used to call it Alzheimer's. When I was growing up, we called it Alzheimer's. We didn't know exactly what it was. We just figured it was just old people.
I thought it was old timers when I was a kid.
And the name change. We always wrong, man. It is a disease of the brain, and some people run in the family, and but some people just do. You know, he gonna have Alzheimer's early because his ass had Alzheimer's since he was born. I'm, I'm cracking.
Exactly.
I'm cracking a joke, y'all. I'm cracking a joke. Anyway,
Me
JP, I
too.
don't know why turning on everybody isn't a good thing, but I'm not accepting that shit. I'll smack the shit out of me. I come over there with a belt and beat your little ass, okay? Like your aunt did. And and I don't know why he gonna mention me and what her name? Why he getting involved in me and her? Like he said, he was smart. He said, "Hey, I like both of y'all. I'm not getting involved." That's smart, okay, to do. But as soon as he get mad enough, he bring, "Oh, I should have listened to her." Yeah, you should have listened to her, and you're gonna listen to her from now on, nigga, because I ain't helping you with not a motherfucking thing. Okay, um, let her do it. Okay, um, just for you not to follow her instructions. So anyway, I'll be back later, y'all. ABT, I'll see you later, sis.
Hey,
Reese, I'll see
Mom.
All right,
Have a good
Bomb.
day.
you.
Talk
If
to
he
you
over there
later.
talking that shit, y'all take that message, let me know. I'll come watch. But I ain't got no time to just don't want my husband to.
He got
Mm-hmm.
me blocked.
Oh, he got you blocked?
Mm-hmm.
He gonna block us all, girl. He gonna block us all. I guess we're gonna have
Yeah.
to set off a little stream where while we watching him, we can be talking shit about him, ain't?
Right.
Okay. Okay.